All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. You are live and direct with your Akazaki Yahoo. And I start this broadcast as I would start any broadcast by first of all giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four corners of the earth. I say shalom, Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant, and back in our own land. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm joined this evening by my most esteemed Akenaniah. Shalom, shalom, my king.
Hey, shalom, shalom, my king. Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, Wahawa Kakwadash, Barak Hashem.
Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. All praises to the Most High in the name of his beloved Son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and the set apart spirit of the Most High. Bless the name of the Most High, and praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. Indeed. I get it right?
Yeah, bless the name, Khan. Bless the name was the last name. Yep.
All praises. Hallelujah. I was trying to stay focused on it. It always slipped me. I don't know how, somehow. But we are back again. Brand new book of First Corinthians, or let's take a look at this, what this is in the Hebrew here. How we pronounce this according to
Qorintiyim Aleph.
Aleph, yeah, no, Aleph is one in the Hebrew. Qorintiyim Aleph, Qorintiyim. So yeah, the book of Corinthians. So we'll get back to the KJV. This is going to be a pretty short book. All things considered, it's only 16 chapters, so I think we'll get through this rather quick, and we'll move right along. But we'll start here at chapter number 1 and verse 1. Appeal to utility. Verse 1. Shaul, called to be an emissary, Yehoshua HaMashiach, through the will of the Most High, and
Sosthenes,
our brother. Who is Sosthenes?
Yeah, Khan, that's one of the ox, I guess.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look at his name, because that's the first time we've seen that one. Then as Ace, solvent, savior of his nation. Wow, this brother named Savior of his nation. Is this another name for Hamashiach?
Nah, I think that's just a Greek name. You know what I mean? But evidently this was one of the Yahudim.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a Yehudi in Corinth who was seized and beaten in the presence of Gilead. But did we read that in that was in Acts, wasn't it?
I want to say you're right now that I think about it, all right? And remembering that in that book of Acts, it kind of tells the journeying of the apostle Shaul. Yeah. And then like in these epistles, we just get his letters to those people that he was visiting.
Okay. Indeed. All right. Continuing. Verse 2. Slacky. Almost got choked up right there. Verse 2. Unto the assembly of the Most High, which is at Corinth, to them that are sanctified in Mashiach, Yehoshua, called to be saints, with all that in every place call upon the name of Yehoshua, Mashiach, our Adonai, both theirs and ours. Grace
I'm not gonna act like I understand it all, but see, like how I've come to view these scripts when we see that word saints, that's in reference to the Yahudim or to Yasharim, Israelites, So I know that Shaul was sent to the uncircumcised. We read that in Acts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm wondering who it is he's calling saints here. Huh? That's all.
I'm looking it up right quick. Is this a script that really hammers it home? Elohim, chapter 50, and I think 5. I'm looking it up here. 1 second. Let me grab it right quick. Let's skip to it here. Elohim 5. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Elohim chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So obviously that's the children of Israel. So no other instance with this word saint or saints be appropriate outside of those who made a covenant by sacrifice to the Most High. That's the only place it would be reasonable to call somebody saint. So yeah, it's ironic. It's ironic to really get it into perspective. So, but we're continuing. We're steady learning. We're steady growing, and we'll get there. Verse 3. Grace be unto you and shalom from the Most High, our Father, and from the Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach. I thank my power always on your behalf for the grace of the Most High, which is given you by Yehoshua, Mashiach, that in everything you are enriched by him in all utterances and in all knowledge, even as the testimony of Mashiach was confirmed in you. So yeah, he's kind of laying that foundation in his writing here, and it's good stuff to at the very beginning. I mean, as we go to the very beginning here, continuing verse 6. Even as the testimony of Mashiach was confirmed in you, so you have so you came behind in no gift, waiting to come to our Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach, whom shall also confirm you unto the end, that you may be blameless in the day of our Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach. He's reiterating the Mashiach. And I'm thinking the reason that's really what he was coming to bring, because a lot of people were familiar with the Most High to a degree, but they didn't understand the Messiah. And so that's why he's really hammering that. I mean, this first 8 verses, he's mentioning him like 7 times. Here we are in verse 9, and his name is right here again. So verse 9, continue. Most High is faithful, by whom you are called unto fellowship of his Son, Yehoshua, Mashiach, our Adonai. Now I beseech you, brethren, in the name of our Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach, that you all speak the same thing, and there be no division among you, but that you be perfectly joined together in the same mind, in the same judgment. For it have been declared unto me, my brother, let me start that over. For it have been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Cleo, that there is contention among you. So now he getting into the problem. He done built them up. Now look here, this is the problem I've heard about. Verse 12. Now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am of Shaul, and of the other brother who got a name that we don't use.
And
I of Cleopas, and I of Mashiach. Is Mashiach divided? Was Shaul crucified for you? Or were you immersed in the name of Shaul? I thank the Most High that I immersed none of you. And Crispus?
Yeah, Khan,
Okay. Crispus and Gaius.
Gaius.
Gaius, Salaki. Gaius, Salaki. Gaius. Okay, gotcha. Verse 15. Least any should be that I immerse in my own name. And I immerse also the household of Stephanias.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I know not whether I immerse any other. For Mashiach sent me not to immerse, but to preach the good news, not with wisdom of words, lest the stake of Mashiach should be of none effect. So yeah, it's good to bring the word and use the good words, but you think about some of the wordsmiths that you've known, like Don King. Don King dropped. I remember in I believe it was that movie about the former champion Ali, Muhammad Ali. He said, "You must have studied the whole D section of the dictionary." Because he kept dropping all these words. Like, man, that's not. I get it, but that's to me. That's what he's talking about. It's not about that. It's about building you up in the spirit, in the ruach, so that you can be severely built up, really built up, and not just dropping a bunch of this sound good and that sound good on you. So continue. The wisdom of the Most High, verse 18. For the preaching of the state is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? For after that, the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. For the Yahudim require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom. But we preach Mashiach, crucifixion, unto the Yahudim a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. But unto them which are called both Yahudim and Greeks, Mashiach, the power of the Most High, and the wisdom of the Most High. Okay, Khan. I was about to say, what? Wait a minute. What did he say? I had to look at that again. Like, wait a minute. Let's call it Mashiach, the power of the Most High. Like, I don't know about that, but I get it. I get what he's saying there. I had to, I still got these books on the review. That's why I'm kind of cautious. So, like I said, we've been precepting out of these joints, but reading it all the way through like this. This is a first for you. So continuing verse 25. Because the foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, nor many mightily, nor many noble are called. So he's saying that it's limited because you're not going to the wisest of the men that's known known amongst men. It's not going to the strongest or the mightiest. It's not going to the most noble Those aren't the ones that's being called. He calling the regular folks. He calling the regular, the other people that are looking down and they knows like, I'm better than that. I don't got to do that. And it's ironic that he says this because I really felt like the Most High had to bring me to a place in order to even bring me the truth. Because I think if he'd have brought it to me when I felt like I was at the top of my career or my existence at that time, I probably wouldn't have been ready. I probably wouldn't have been mentally ready. I probably would have been, I'm good with JC. I'm good with, I'm good with that. But I probably would have rejected it because I would have thought that I was, where I need to be. So continuing verse 27. But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. The base things of the world and the things which are despised have the Most High chosen. Yea, the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are. So that's exactly what you think about. You think about the so-called Negroes scattered to the four quarters of the earth, all over the world, every situation, every country, every city, every state, every province. We are in the lowest. You're gonna find our people in the lowest possible place, and for the Most High to redeem us, and bring us from that to royalty, back to royalty, I should say. That's going to be magnificent, and that's what. Kind. That's what Shaul was talking about here, because that's what our people have been dealing with for centuries, not for a short time, not for 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 100 years, centuries. We've been dealing with this since the kings went off. Since the kingdom split, truthfully. In one form or another, our people have been dealing with problems, major problems. We've read all through it, through the text here. So continuing verse 29. That no flesh should glory in his presence, but of him are you in Mashiach Yehoshua, whom the Most High have made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, that according to as it is written, he that glorieth, let him glory in Yahuwah. So let it be our power who you find your glory in. Because I can say anything good, I can brag about my power, I can feel proud about my power, but I can't feel proud about Azakiyahu.
Right.
God. All praise.
And he's our boast, Doc. You know what I mean? He's our boast.
Indeed, because he's worthy. He's worth it. Mm-hmm. He's worth everything, every good thing we can possibly say. Continuing. Verse chapter 2, Salakia. 1 Corinthians, or what's the Qorintiyim?
Qorintiyim Aleph.
All the praises, hallelujah. My mind gets to working sometimes. Praises. All right. Shaul's what is it?
Reliance.
Reliance, Salakia. I'm trying to say reliance. I'm like, okay, reliance upon the Ruach. Verse 1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. For I determined not, for I demonstrated not to know anything among you, save Yehoshua, Mashiach, and his crucifixion, or his assassination, I should say. Verse 3. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Ruach and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not wisdom of the world, nor of the princes of this world, that come to naught. All that is going to be done with. So it doesn't make sense to grasp and hold on it. Verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained from before the world unto our esteem, or unto our glory, which none of the princes of the world knew. For had they known it, they would have not put to death our Adonai of glory. So, I got you. Verse 9. But as it is written, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither have entered into the hearts of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. But the Most High have revealed them unto us by his Ruach, and his Ruach searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Ruach of the Most High. Now, we have received not the Ruach of the world, but the Ruach of but the Ruach which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Kadesh Ruach teacheth, and prepare spiritual things with spirituality. Oh, I said that wrong. Preparing spiritual things with spiritual. Verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Ruach of the Most High. Let me read that again. Verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Ruach of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
So, it's like trying to have a conversation with certain family members, and explaining to them that the Abba's getting ready to do another thing. We see people's hearts hardening at this time period, and trying to explain to him that, this is not the time to harden our hearts with disbelief, because you're so focused on worldly things that you can't discern or understand or comprehend the spiritual applications of what's going on. It's sad, but we also have to remember that the Most High is a grand architect, and these people who are carnal or natural is what it's called here. They're made so by the Most High. At one point, the scripture says, or else they would have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's something spiritual.
Indeed, I can. Indeed. Indeed, it's deeply spiritual and deeply, because it's amazing to think about, how we operate and how the Most High have shown Himself and not shown Himself, but shown His knowledge and revelation to certain of us, and then others of us, just miss it. It's like what's that scripture saying? There'll be two at the well or two at the mill grinding, one left, one taken, and one left.
Yeah, con.
It's almost like that because that's how that's how it's been going. Like you get two brothers here and they tight. One brother get waking up and the other brother still sleep, and he thinking something weird going on, and he just break off. It just literally just break off and just continue in what they're doing, and while you just go on a whole different path, and they think it's something wrong with you. Like, nah, bro. But yeah, it's strange. It's ironic. It's very ironic. So, continuing verse 15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who knoweth the mind of Yahuwah, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Mashiach. So who in the world could give counsel to the Most High? Who can really, try to build him up? Like that's not even sensible. That's not even something that you would seriously contemplate. That's a rhetorical question. Like, it's not possible. So I like that point so far. Continuing. Qorintiyim Aleph, chapter number 3, foundations of living. It's like for living. Verse 1. And our brethren could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even unto babes in Mashiach. And I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hereto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able. For you are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envy and strife and divisions, and you are not carnal, and you are not carnal and walk as men. Like y'all doing all these things, and you think you high on the horse. You're not. You walking as baseless men with no covenant, men with no power, men with no. You just, I be looking at my people sometimes, and I just wonder, like, man, if I could, how long it would take to teach them all that I've learned over these years, like to get them to the mind frame that I reside in. Like when I literally think of myself as royalty, as regal. I try to behave as a regal person would behave. I don't behave myself as, like a regular so-called black person, a so-called Negro. I carry myself with I try to be legitimate, first of all. And because I want to represent the Most High, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm so this and that, but I'm saying I'm trying to represent the Most High. So when people see me, I want them to think about Him, and that's why He talks like that. That's why He walks that way. That's why He, behaves in that manner, because that's how it is. But you get a couple of people together, and oh boy, it sounds like a the word to use, something I don't want to say.
Come on.
Yeah. Verse 4. For while one saith, I am Shaul's, and another, I am, it's the same thing in chapter 3. That same brother Are you not carnal? Who then is Shaul's, and who is that brother? But ministers by whom that you believe, even as the Adonai, even as Yahuwah gave to every man. So I feel in what he's saying, because even then you think about brothers, and I'll admit, brothers in the truth have done a lot better with this, because it used to be brothers would be at odds, so at odds, and it's this camp against that camp, or these brothers against those brothers, and I noticed that is dwindling a lot more. I haven't seen that as much as it has been in times past. I think it's more prevalent in with others, especially in Christianity, because you got brothers in this church. We with Geno Jennings, and you got brothers over here. We with T.D. Jakes, and you got brothers over here, but we with Creflo Dollar, and you kind of see that dividing line between those ones. But I think it's gotten better with I think it's gotten somewhat better with brothers in the truth. So, verse 6, and I planted that brother watered, but the Most High gave the increase. So then, neither is he planted anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High give the increase. Now, he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man receiveth his own reward according to his own labor. For we are laborers together with the Most High. You are the Most High's husbandry. You are the Most High's building. According to the grace of the Most High, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take it heed unto how he buildeth thereon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is slacking. Let me start that here over. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yehoshua Mashiach. So he said you can't come with something different and try to lay some other foundation. The foundation has to be the Messiah. I get that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Well, I would say, yeah, I would say that the foundation would be Mashiach, because Mashiach was actually the Torah. So Mashiach and Torah are one. So if you teach Mashiach, you teach Torah. That's how it should be. Now, when you don't teach it properly, you teach Mashiach as something separate than Torah, and say that he's got a whole separate doctrine than Torah, then yeah, you would corrupt the foundation. So, verse 12. Now, if any man buildeth upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be reviled by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work and what sort it is. So when it comes down to the test, the test is going to be a fire. So if you're not silver, at least silver. If you're not gold, if you're not at least silver, if you wood or hay or stubble, you're good for nothing.
Come.
Yeah, you're gonna burn up when you get into that fire. So
yeah, fit for destruction, huh?
Fit for destruction. God. Verse 14. If any man work abide which he have built thereon, he shall receive a reward. If any man work shall burn, he shall suffer loss. But he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Verse 16. Know you not that you are the temple of the Most High, and that the Ruach of the Most High dwelled in you? If any man destroy the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most High is set apart, or Kodesh, which temple you are. You know, this script right here, in the proper context, allowed me to stop a lot of foolishness because I didn't want to be destroyed by the Most High. I believe this in my ruach, in my spirit, in my mind, and in my ruach, that if I maim this temple, if I destroy this temple with purpose, meaning I do it like I don't care about it, and I do it with malicious purpose, then the Most High is going to, certain things you don't have any control over, like the pollution in the air, the tainted water and food that we have to consume. You know, those things we really don't have any control over. But what we do have control over is what we put into our bodies, what we consume through our eye gates, and you know, those thoughts that come into our mind that we just let manifest and fester into manifestation. So those things we do have control over. Continuing here, verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. So that's what it takes to get off of what you've been on. You got to become a fool to that stuff, to the world stuff, to come into the understanding of the Most High. That's why Yehoshua taught us you got to come as little children, because the little children don't have anything to argue about. When you tell them these are numbers, they say these are numbers, and they repeat what you say. They don't have somebody. Well, what about the letters? No, they don't do that. They go straight with what you tell them. Verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, he will take the wise in their own craftiness. And again, Yahuwah knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. Whether Shaul, or this other brother, or Cleophas, or the world, or life, or death, or things present, or things to come, all are yours. And you are Mashiach's, and Mashiach is the Most High. All praises. That was pretty good.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That was pretty good writing on that one. We got to give it up to Shaul. Shaul, you know, these brothers were some, you know, these were some major writers here. It wasn't just some little lightweight, you know, those together something type brothers. These were some major writers with they, you know, great with their writing. So continuing, the book of Qorintiyim Aleph, chapter number 4. Servant of Hamashiach. All right. Verse 1. Let no man so account of us as the ministers of Hamashiach and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. But with me, it is what? It's like you. But with me, it is a very small thing that I should be judged of you, or of man's judgment. Yea, I judge not my own self, for I know nothing by myself. Yet am I not it's like you. Yet I am not hereby justified, but he that judgeth me is Yahuwah. Therefore, judge nothing before the time, until Yahuwah cometh, or until the Adonai come, who uh, who both who both we slacking, who both we bring the light and the hidden things of darkness, and will make manifest the counsel of the hearts. And then shall every man have praise of the Most High. And then, slacky, and these things, brethren, I have figured transferred to myself and our dear brother for our sake, that you might learn in, you know what, slacky. Verse 6, let me finish this. That you might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up one against another. So, I mean, that is a magnificent point, not to get all of sorts, like dealing with one brother or another. Like I'm dealing with Shaul, I'm down with Shaul. That is that's literally what it is. The church has made Shaul the basis of everything. Well, Shaul says, or Paul said, or Paul writes. Paul wasn't writing that to you. Paul was writing that to his audience. The Romans got a hold of it and tried to make it into what it is. It's some good writing, but I'm still reserving judgment. So, verse 6. And these things, brethren, I have in a figure transformed to myself and to our dear brother for your sake, that you might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written. Oh, so I just read that one? Yeah, I just read that one slightly. Verse 7. For whom maketh you to differ one from another? And what have you, slacky, and what you, slacky, I'm reading this incorrectly. Let me get this straight. And what have you that you did not receive? So what does one of you have that the other one does not? Now, if you didn't receive it, why do you glory? As if you had not received it. So if you did receive it, slacky. My apologies. Let me read that one more time, please. Verse 7. For who maketh you to differ from another? And what have you that do not receive? Now, if you did receive it, why do you glory? As if you had not received it. Like you acting like because you got a little bit of a wisdom, you acting like you don't have wisdom because you're acting like an ingrate. Yeah, you trying to you trying to show you puffed up. That's not how somebody with wisdom move. That's how I took that, what he just said. Once I finally got it out. Verse 8. I know, right? I can poke at myself a little bit, because some of this stuff I'll be like, man, it makes sense, but
yeah. And then like sometimes like it's almost like a word puzzle or something, a sentence puzzle or something, man.
It is, it is. It's that old English with it too. So, I try to modernize it. And we could just read a modern version, but this is thought of as the better translation.
And I'm almost leery of reading, those modern versions out because a lot of times it loses its real original meaning.
Indeed, I agree with you. Yeah, we can reference those, but just reading it straight through, I'd rather stick right here with the KJV. All right. Continuing verse 8. Now you are full, which you are slacky. Now you are full. Now you are rich. You have resigned. Slacky. You have reigned as kings without us. and I would that the Most High you did reign, that we also might reign with you. So he bigging them up real big here. Verse 9. For I think that the Most High has set forth us as emissaries last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and the Malachim, and to Malachim and to men. We are fools for Mashiach's sake, but you are wise in Mashiach. We are weak, but you are strong. We are honorable. You are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certainty of no certain dwelling place. Now, what is that buffeted? That's not a common word.
I'm thinking like puffed up, but I'm not sure.
Let's see what it say in the Greek here. To strike with fist. Oh, they be beat up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that means. As he was naming it, see what he said, what he was saying in that sentence. It says, even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are beaten up, and have no certain dwelling place. Like, man, we got the worst of the situation. We don't got no food, we don't got nothing to drink, we don't got a place to live, we got our butts kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like we in the worst situation, but it's worth it.
No rest.
Yeah, kind. It's worth it for Mashiach's sake, you know. So verse 12. Continue here, verse 12. And labor, working with our hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it, being defamed, we entreat it. We entreat. We are made with filth, and the world, we are made as the filth of the world, and are offscoured,
Offscouring.
Obscuring. I was trying to get it, but I couldn't get it out. I was gonna say I won't say souring or obscuring. Continuing of all things unto this day. So yeah, it's saying they've been put at the low place. So he's referencing that beating, but he mentions in one of the other books how many times he's gotten 40 strikes minus one, because something about the Torah, you couldn't give a man more than 40, so they would always give him 39. So like if you couldn't give him more than 40, you would give him like 10. You know, like take him right up to the brink, make it the worst possible for him. Like, man. Verse 14. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved son, I warn you. For though you have 10,000 intercessories in Mashiach, yet have you not many fathers. For Mashiach, Yehoshua, I have begotten you through the good news. Wherefore I beseech you, be you followers of me. For this cause have I sent unto you Timotheus, who is my beloved son, and faithful in Yahuwah, who shall bring you unto remembrance in the many ways which Mashiach, as I teach everywhere in every gathering. Now some are puffed up as though I have not come to you, But I will come to you shortly, if Yahuwah's will, and will know not the speech of them which are puffed up, but the power. For the kingdom of the Most High is not in words, but in power. What will you? Shall I come unto you with the rod, or in love, and in the ruach of meekness? So I kind of misread that one, that last one, verse 21. He said, what will you? Shall I come unto you with the rod, or with love, and in the ruach of meekness? Like he was posed that as a question. It didn't really read like a question, but it kind of, he was posing it as a question. So, all right. Continuing here, verse 5. Oh, it's verse 5, Salaki. Chapter 5 of Qorintiyim Aleph, 1 Corinthians. Immorality rebuked. So get that wicked behavior up out of there. Verse 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, as such fornication is not so much named among the Gentiles. You see that? That no one should have his father's wife. Who's trying to be with their father's wife? Like, y'all, that's what y'all doing? Verse 2. And you are puffed up and have not rather mourned, but he that have done these deeds might be taken away from among you. Yeah, you got to get him out of there. If you got a cat going to that extreme with wickedness, he got to go. That ain't no slip and oops. That's some calculated planning. That's some wicked maneuvering. He need to be isolated so he can get his mind right. So the Ruach can work on him, because he's out there. Verse 3. For I verily, as absent in body, but present in Ruach, have judged already, as though I were present, concerning him that have so done these deeds. In the name of our Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach, when you are gathered together in my Ruach, with the power of our Adonai, Yehoshua, Mashiach, to deliver such as one unto Satan, unto Hashatan, for the destruction of the flesh, that the Ruach may be saved in the day of Yehoshua Mashiach. Your glorying is not good. Know you not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be new lumps, as you are leavened. Even for Mashiach, our Passover is sacrificed for us. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice or wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sanctity. That's not sanctity. What is that?
It's sincerity.
Sincerity, Salakia. I don't know how I be missing these words. Sincerity of truth, told our King. Verse 9. I write unto you in an epistle to the company, Salakia. Verse 9. I write unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators, yet not altogether with the fornicators of the world, or with the coveters, or with extortioners, or with idolaters. For then must you indeed go out into the world, go out of the world. So it's hard to be built up, without that solid leadership when you got that evil right in your face. You got to really be spiritually strong to, especially when this is something you've been dealing with and you had dealt with previously. You really got to be strong to be able to resist those things. So, verse 11. But now I am writing unto you not to keep company. If any man that is a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, with such anyone know not to eat. Like, don't even sit down to have a meal with this person, even though they call themselves a brother. If they going off like this, you got to tighten the reins.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes what will happen in those situations, you'll have a brother and he'll just continue in that sin, and he'll continue coming to the assembly, and he'll feel justified. Like, well, I went to the assembly, I broke bread with the brothers, I'm good. Go home and do the same wickedness, and he'll feel completely justified. He'll justify himself in his own mind. Verse 12, and then if you know it, and you don't rebuke him, you justify.
That's blood on your hands,
Absolutely. You justifying it as well. So, verse 12. But what have I to do? Slakia. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not have you judge them that are within? Like, look, I'm not just teaching you how to deal with the people that are outside the assembly. You got to deal with the people that are inside the assembly as well. You know that these things are wrong. Don't deal with these things outside or inside. Verse 13. But them that are without the Most High judgeth. Therefore, put away from among you that wicked person. He got to go. He got to go. That's not even a question mark. So, all right. So this is what we reading, 8?
Yeah, Khan. I think I'm up.
You up now? Okay, go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Qorintiyim Aleph, 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Lawsuits discouraged. Verse 1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge malice? How much more things that pertain to this life? If then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the assembly. I speak to your shame. It is so. Slakia, is it so that there is not a wise man among you? No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren. But brother goeth to the law with brother, and that before the unbelievers. Now therefore there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law one with another. Why do ye not rather take wrong? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Nay, ye do wrong and defraud, and that your brethren. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified, but ye are justified in the name of the Adonai Yahweh Shai, and by the Ruach of our power. The body is Yahweh's. Verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So, this, I've heard people, in the church, use this as saying that, they're able to do whatever, they don't have to follow the law, statute, and commandments, because all things are lawful. That's not what Shaul is saying here. Let's continue reading and get some understanding. Verse 13, meats for the belly, and the belly for meats, but the Most High shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication, but for the Adonai, but for Yahweh, and Yahweh for the body. For the Most High hath both raised up the Adonai, and will also raise up us by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Mashiach? Shall I then take the members of Mashiach and make them the members of a harlot? The Most High forbid. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh. This was written in Bereshit, the man leaving his mother and father and clinging to that woman, and them two becoming one flesh, right?
Yes, indeed.
Verse 17, but he that is joined unto the Adonai is one spirit. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. And this sin is, remember, it's transgression of the law. And this sin separates us from the Most High. And just recounting what Shaul is speaking about, in the previous chapter, he mentions, it's been reported that somebody is trying to sleep with their father's wife, right?
Crazy.
This is off. This is fornication. This is something that will keep you from the kingdom. So Shaul is giving a warning. Another thing, which I'm scratching my head on, because we read in the book of Acts, chapter 15, it spoke about what the Gentiles had to do to be saved. And it was four specific commandments. But right here in chapter 6 of First Qorintiyim, it's more things that are listed. And these are not just commandments, these are laws. So I'm almost leaning to the side that these are not Gentiles that we're speaking to here.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm leaning to that as well, because it doesn't appear to be the case.
Yeah, I just now, do I have total understanding of it all? Like, no, I'm learning, but I do remember us reading, what the Gentiles had to do, and this, right here, it's more to it, which we know with us, those descendants of Abraham, it's more to it than just 4 commandments for us,
Indeed.
We gotta do what our ancestors agreed to, and there were repercussions for not doing so.
Indeed, Aki, 1,000%.
All right, continuing. Verse 19. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of HaKodesh Ruach, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? for ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify the Most High in your body and in your ruach, which are the Most High's.
Okay.
All right. Let's continue, because, remember, it's broken up into chapters for us now,
Right.
but this is really just a letter that Shaul has written to the people who are in Qorintiyim. And, I know that Shaul, well, we'll get there when we do the wrap up.
Okay.
All right, but this is the book of Qorintiyim Aleph, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, teaching on marriage, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Hasatan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. So, right here, Paul is making a distinction between, what he's saying and what is commandment.
Right.
Which I would never dare try to do this. I guess we do it sometimes by giving our opinion on what the scriptures are saying to us.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to be seen as somebody who is keeping or teaching the commandments of men versus the commandments of the Most High,
Yeah, kind of. I agree with you on
that. Now, going back up, the teaching on marriage, avoiding fornication, which, fornication is, a transgression. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise the wife have not power, because, this is why he finished that up with, I speak this by permission, because, when we go back into Torah, we don't read all of that.
Right.
We don't read all that, and that's just, I'll leave it at that,
Yeah. I wonder if he's more dealing with, remember, Shaul started off as a Pharisee. So, he would have been privy to those, them brothers that would have been, given the exhortation. Well, I think this and that of the sort, and so on and so forth. And, so he would have been privy to that side of it. More the commentaries or more the beginning of what would be known today as the Talmud.
Very, very good point. Very good point. And I didn't even think about that. Like, he's going to be privy and knowledgeable about the commandments of men.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, all right. But continuing, verse. Let's see. We ready for verse 5 or 6? All right. No. We just read 6 or 7.
7, yeah. Kind of.
All right. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man hath his proper gift of the Most High, one after this manner, and another after that. I say, therefore, to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. I think this would be applicable to Israelites as well as Gentiles.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a fornicator. You definitely don't want to be an adulterer.
Right.
So it's better to marry, because if you're doing this without marriage and you're just fornicating and just lusting, you're fit for destruction.
Indeed, Aki, 1,000%. And it's a stain on the nation. When you don't deal with the sisters,
Mhm.
and it can definitely cause harm and disdain and distrust, and not to mention, I remember I shot you that little note the other day, and it caused that issue as well in this modern time. Remember, that goes back to Deuteronomy 28. Every disease that is not written in this book of the law.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's widespread. A lot of people suffering with venereal and sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
From living a loose and lewd lifestyle. Right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right. Continuing, verse 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but Yahweh. Let not the wife depart from her husband, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I, not the Adonai, or not Yahweh. If any brother hath a wife that believe not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman which hath a husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Right.
But, Salakia, you had something, Mark?
Yeah, I was just going to hit on those. I think we've been waiting on this for a little bit to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my understanding here, to be pleased to dwell with someone doesn't mean that, hey, we want to live together or we want to just keep the family together. Like, this woman in this situation is going to realize that, hey, my husband has a different belief than me, and he's following a path that I'm not really interested in following. However, though I'm not interested in following it, I am interested in keeping my marriage together. So, in keeping in the ideology of keeping my marriage together, I'm going to do what he says because I love my husband and I want to keep my family together. So it's maybe not so much that I believe all of this that he's doing. Is more along the lines that I want to deal with my husband. I want to keep my family intact. That's what it means to be pleased to dwell. Not that, hey, we just gonna stay together for the sake of stuff is high and I need somebody to help me pay these bills. No, pleased to dwell means I'm willing to do what you say, not necessarily because I believe, but more so because I'm just interested in keeping my marriage. And I think that understanding, it'll really make sense as we continue to read here.
Con. All right. Verse 12. Salakia, verse 13.
Yeah.
And the woman which hath a husband that believe, and I read that too.
Yeah, you read that one. Yeah, 14, huh?
Okay, verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they set apart.
Okay. So right there, I think that really reiterates that point. How is the unbelieving husband sanctified by the wife? Because the husband gonna say, "Hey, I don't really believe in what you're doing, but I'm willing to deal with that based on my willingness to have a relationship with you." And same thing with the wife, with the unbelieving wife being sanctified by the husband, because she's following after him for the sake of that marriage. She's putting away ways of the world because he's leading her to righteousness. She's not trying to go to righteousness, but she's following him to righteousness because that's what he's laying down for her. And so that makes the children set apart instead of being unclean.
Come.
Yeah.
All right, verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but the Most High hath called us to shalom. For what knowest you, O wife, whether you shall save your husband? Or how knowest you, O man, whether you shall save your wife? But as the Most High hath distributed to every man, as Yahweh hath called every one, so let him walk. And so ordained I in all assemblies. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of the Most High. So, we had questions. I was kind of scratching my head on some of the things that we were reading in this book in particular. Some people, some of these people in this book being called saints, and some of the things that he was telling the people. Right here, I think it does confirm what we kind of believe is that he was talking to both circumcision and uncircumcision in this book.
Right. Well, and I always had to consider too that when we were, we had to think about it where we were. When we were born, we weren't born into the truth. We were born into the world. So our parents didn't teach us the truth, didn't raise us in the truth. So that's how we was born into the world. So we had to come into the knowledge of the truth. So you may have a brother, some of the brothers in the same situation, being first generation brothers in the truth, they might not have been circumcised. That might have just been something extra that their parents would have had to pay for that they wasn't willing to pay for. So they might not have been circumcised. So you may have a brother who parents didn't get them circumcised because one, they didn't know about the covenant, and two, they didn't even deal with the idea that they, just like we thought of ourselves as Americans, they think of themselves as Romans or whatever, whatever nationality, whatever citizenship that they have. That's likely the way they're thinking about themselves, as well as Greeks. Like, oh, we're Greeks because we speak Greek, and this is how we operate. This is how we live. So, it's not unusual that Yahudim would have been walking around. It's like today, Yahudim walking around who don't know that who don't know that Yahudim, don't even know what a Yahudim would be, and certainly don't know anything about circumcision, except it's a medical thing that you get when you're a baby, and now they're adults, so they don't need it because they lived this long without it. So, so that's what he's saying. Circumcision profit is nothing, because as I understand this portion of it, if you weren't circumcised day 8, if you were circumcised day 4, or you were circumcised day 9, you'd have missed it. Because if you weren't circumcised day 8, that is what according to Torah is. So if you didn't do it that way, then you missed it. So, outside of that, it really doesn't matter, because that's what the covenant is. So that's how I take what he was saying there.
All right, verse 20. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Are you called being a servant? Care not for it. But if you mayest be made free, use it rather. For he that is called in Yahweh, being a servant, is Yahweh's freeman. Likewise, also, he that is called, being free, is Mashiach's servant. Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye the servant of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with the Most High. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of Yahweh, yet I give my judgment as one that have obtained mercy of Yahweh to be faithful. So we're not gonna, what he's getting ready to say, we're not getting ready to find this in the Torah. It's pretty much what he's telling us.
Right.
All right. Verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Are you bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Are you loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. But and if you marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belongeth to Yahweh. How then, Slakia, how he may please Yahweh? But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. So, I see what he's saying.
Yeah,
I see what he's saying. If you're not married, you have time to focus solely on pleasing the Most High. Whereas, when you're a married man, you're going to be seeking the things that are, not so much pleasing to your wife, but you're going to be considering your wife. Yeah. Sometimes, well, we should never put anything before the Most High. Right. Never, no buts about it. But sometimes, there's going to be times that we're going to be considering our wife versus considering the Most High, Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that situation back then, having a tent, your wife got a tent, you got another tent for the child, she get pregnant again. Now you need another tent for the new baby. You know what I'm saying? So as you continue to grow, then you start, as your family continues to grow, that's what I should say, you're gonna, need more room. You're gonna need more things. You're gonna need a bigger table to sit down and have dinner. You're gonna need, more dishes to feed more people. All of these things are things that will come, is just gonna come up. But what I take from that, what he said here, and I know we'll do this at the end as well, but I take from that, like, I think he was anticipating the Mashiach return during his time, and here we are 2,000 years later. We still waiting. We still await the Messiah of Mashiach, because he's making it seem like it wouldn't be a big deal if you just wait, because it's going to be as though it was never a thing. That's what he was saying there with all of these.
I mean, at one point, he even says time is short.
Yeah. Like I believe that's what he was thinking. Mashiach gonna be back any day now. We probably got a couple more weeks and he'll be here. He didn't say it like that, but he said it, to that degree. So that's interesting to think about. But understanding everything that we understand, and that he had a piece of it, and I think we understand probably a little bit more than what he did at his time. So we know we got the faithful have to be sealed. So the elect has to be sealed. So we would have to be at the time of the elect in order to even get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, con. All right. Verse
is
33. Let's see. Yeah, verse 34, Slakia.
Okay.
There's a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of Yahweh, that she may be set apart both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon Yahweh without distraction. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not. Let them marry. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but hath power over his own will, and hath decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, doeth well. So then, he that giveth her in marriage doeth well, but he that giveth her not in marriage doeth better. The wife is bound by law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in Yahweh. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. And I think also that I have the Ruach of the Most High.
See, that's ironic because for him to say that, it definitely contradicts be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really ironic that he would even put that out there like that. I understand where he's coming from. You can serve, you can minister better when you don't have these ties. You don't have these children pulling at you. You don't have this woman, or you don't have this husband, and you don't have these obligations. So you can do ministry better. But what he's doing effectively, now you're gonna, well, I guess not, because if you don't have a wife, I was gonna say his brother got to raise up a seed to it. But he don't have a wife, so if he never took a wife, then he don't have to raise up seed to him. So,
I mean, but you make a very good point. We're given the commandment by the Most High: be fruitful and multiply. Mary, and there was one point where through the prophet Yirmiyahu, the Most High tells us to take wives for our sons, give our daughters in marriage, so that we don't decrease, that we multiply. At one point, in one of Shaul's epistles, he talks about how in the last days people will talk about not marrying or foregoing marriage, but that's what he's saying right here.
Yeah, right here in this text, right here, right. That is so ironic, right? That's what I'm saying. You gotta read all of it to get to the judgment of it, because it's kind of different than what we've read thus far. If we wouldn't have started from the beginning, from Bereshit, and gotten to this point, it wouldn't be as, you wouldn't see it as much. But if we'd have just started at Matthew and read to here, you'd probably be a little bit more susceptible to what you're saying. But it's some it's not contradict me, but it's that definitely that's a contradiction. I got to be honest, that's a contradiction, because for the Most High to tell us be fruitful and multiply, and then for him to tell us to take wives and have our children and give our daughters to men and take wives unto our sons, and for him to say it's better if you don't, that's a contradiction.
So okay, we'll get there here in a second. Man. Last chapter. This is the book of Qorintiyim Aleph, 1 Corinthians chapter 8. Take care with your liberty, verse 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we have all knowledge, knowledge puffed up, but love edifieth. And if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know. But if any man love the Most High, the same is known of him. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered into sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other power but one. For though there be that are called deities, whether in Shemaim or in the rest, as there be deities many and masters many, but to us there is but one power, the Abba, of whom are all things, and we in him, and the one Adonai Yahweh Shah Mashiach, by whom are all things, and we by him. Howbeit, there is not in every man, Salaki, howbeit, there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. But meat commendeth us not to the Most High, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. You know, I want to say I can in chapter 15, man, he says, you know, not eating things that are offered unto deities, man.
I wouldn't doubt it. But what so Adawan Yahweh broke this down really, really good. And gave me some real understanding on this, because I was kind of lost here. What he showed us is that this idol really is nothing. It really is nothing. It's a piece of something that somebody made with their hands. So it really has no significance whatsoever. So if they take a animal and sacrifice it to this thing that is absolutely nothing, then what does that really mean to us? Because is that going to become a stumbling block for us? If you eat this thing that is sacrificed to, let's say, Tonka trucks, or I'm trying to name a child's toy.
Right.
You know, that's equivalent to what it was equal to the Tonka trucks. Then does that mean that now I worship Tonka truck because this is, no, that's nothing. That doesn't mean anything. So you're strong enough in your belief to where you can eat for the sake of sustaining yourself, whether this thing was sacrificed to Tonka trucks or not. That's not going to affect you. But for somebody else who believes in Tonka trucks and the power that Tonka truck is, then they're going to take that as, okay, Tonka truck is now going to bless me because I offered this food to them and I ate it. And so Tonka truck is, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically how he put it, and to help us understand what Shaul was writing here. Now, I don't agree with Shaul on that. I do believe that the Most High have put idols in the earth for the other nations, and that those idols they make sacrifices to. So he was adamant about us not dealing with that and us not doing those things as the people around us did. So I don't know how Shaul would come here and say, now you being under Mashiach and with the knowledge and understanding of the Most High, you can eat sacrifices to these other idols, but the Most High told us don't do that. So I don't know. I wouldn't dare purposely eat something sacrificed to the power of Islam. I wouldn't dare do that, even though you read in a book and you can see that it's speaking of the Most High, but yet it's corruption because it's not sticking to the Most High. It's sticking to something else. It's speaking definitely of something else. So am I going to eat something sacrificed to that? Absolutely no. Why would I do that? Because that's not my power. So I'm not going to deal with that. And I don't want to upset my power with me or with my children. So I'm just not going to put myself in that position. But
I
don't.
mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just, laying backing off what you're saying. Like, we're told to flee from the appearance of wickedness.
Exactly. So it's ironic. Like I said, I got to read all of this to really get the understanding of it, because it's some irony in here, and some things that are different that and that is an outright contradiction. So that's two contradictions that we see with the food and with the marrying. So that's ironic in his writings. Now that's why I say I don't wonder if that was him, or was something else. Was something else causing these things to be said, or so.
Was some of this added?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is this the RCC speaking? Were they taking out his words, or have they changed? Because you could probably change 2 or 3 words and make that say what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah. Verse 10. For if any man see you, which have knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols? So okay, like this is what I expect him to say. Like, don't do these things. Be an example.
How in the world is he gonna see you sitting in an idol's temple? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. You think I'm gonna go into India and sit in the temple of the idols of India? No, nobody's gonna see that, because I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't tempt the Most High like that. That is crazy. I'm serious. That is absolutely crazy. That is. I don't know how he's. I mean, look, verse 10 again. For if any man see you, which have knowledge, sit and meat in the idol's temple, shall not conscience of him which is weak be in boldness to eat things which are offered to idols? So you being that example, now you sitting in the temple of the Indian idol, and you eating, and then somebody who was scattered over there, they see you in Hebrew garb, and you sitting there doing what they're like, oh, I'm good. I'm justified. That's what you just did. You just condemned this brother, because instead of you bringing him out of that, now you don't have a leg to stand on, because you were doing the same thing that he's doing. He feels completely justified in what he's doing. So, yeah, that's kind
verse 11. And through your knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Mashiach died. When you sin so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Mashiach. Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So he's saying, like, nah, I'm not going to even deal with if it's something that'll make my brother weak, or something that he have a hard time with. I'm not going to even put him in that position. So he's not going to get that from me, which makes absolute sense. That's exactly how we should be. So even for a brother who's a vegan or who's vegetarian, he don't believe in the consumption of animals or the consumption of meat, then am I going to not eat because this brother has this issue? Yeah, I will put away meat for that sake, or put away flesh for that sake, as Shaul spoke there. I'll put away flesh for that sake. So that will make absolute sense to do so. But man, I will say continue. I will continue to. I've been a little bit more judgmental on this book than I did the last couple, but I think again, as we continue to go through, we'll continue to see more and more, and really get better and better understanding of what was written. Now, I think the real question would be, where did this come from? and seeing how it was the RCC who brought these things, forth. I think that's what we got to look at as to where these things came from. So, were they coming from Shaul? Was Shaul stating these things? Or, well, you got to think about also what Keeper said, when we get to that point. And his epistles, writing things that are hard to be understood, especially for those who don't know. Now, we coming from the Torah, reading all the OT, even the Apocrypha. And also what happened with Mashiach, right up to this point. And we see this is like, wait a minute, this give you hope. Like, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you saying?
Well, my God.
So, but yeah, I'm still reserving my judgment. I know, like I said, it sounded like I was being a little bit more judgmental, but that's just the development as it continues. I give him credit when he says something that makes sense. I credit that as well, but I also will, critique those things that I don't agree with or that, don't agree with my ruach. Let me say that. But go ahead.
Khan, I definitely see why Kiefer said, Shaul's writings can be hard to understand. I still question whether or not these letters are meant for us anyway. In a way, I feel like it can't hurt, but then we read certain things that just make us, they just they spark, they make our eyebrows, our eyelids, arch up, man, like we're hearing something that's off,
Right.
and it just, especially based on what we've read thus far, like over the last 2 years,
Right.
You made a very good point earlier, when you spoke about Shaul being from the sect of the Pharisees. So, these commandments of men would have been something that he would have been privy about. And, it's kind of playing out in some of his, to me, it's kind of playing out in some of his letters here. Some of these things where he speaks not as oracle or from the Most High or by commandment of the Most High, but his own commandment. Again, I'd be leery about doing that just because I don't want to be, I don't want to be teaching the commandments of men. I want to, speak, thus saith Yahweh,
Right.
and that's what I want to live by. I don't want to confuse anyone.
Right. No, I got you. Right. And that's exactly the ruach we should be dealing with. That's exactly where we should be, because we don't want to be a stumbling block to anybody. We don't want to cause our people to err. We don't want to cause harm to those who need to be coming forth. So, indeed, 100%. So, praises to the Abba, for another good read. And I know I said 120 is 143. We kind of got a little bit of discussion going into it, which is acceptable, But these things have to happen when they come about. So, no biggie there. But thankful to the Father for another opportunity to get into this word. Looking forward to finishing this book tomorrow and getting into the second book, most High willing, next week. Also, if you haven't been joining us for the video review, we are going to have a dynamic video review for you tomorrow. So if you haven't been joining us, you want to make plan to join us, because it's going to be dynamic, to say the least. So that being said, let's close it out with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hit a conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important and imperative that we understand that the conclusion of the whole matter We are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, all the dust is settled and all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged on whether we feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole reason that we were made. I am your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Akinanaya, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say Shalom Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant. Until that day, Shalom, family.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Picard.
Praises to the Father. Another